Hey folks, what's going on? I'm Scott Churchson. That's Mr. Dayveonne Bussy from Stream Punk Entertainment and Stream Punk Combat. And joining us once again, end of the night, Danger Zone 2, final fight winner, Mr. Stephen Persaud. Sir, how the heck are you, man?
I'm feeling good. I got my championship belt right here.
Oh, you're gonna pull that thing out?
Yeah,
Nice.
show the baby. Oh, wow.
Here we go.
That's the baby.
I
That
got
is a
my
nice thing
belt.
of beauty. Credit to Andre for
I
that.
got what else I got? Got the original one right here.
Very cool.
Nice.
So
Oh,
And
he
I
got
got
two
that Cage
babies.
Wars one next.
nice. Yeah, we got to talk about that. We'll get the Cage Wars in a second on this, but first of all, talk about a little bit about the fight with Wallace that happened a week ago. You were the final fight of the night, saving the best for last. So, talk a little bit about that fight. Talk a little bit about the experience, and the decision, how you felt going into it, and just anything you got in your mind.
It was a good fight. He was a good opponent, and I had to stay on my toes and not slip up at any moment because I'm a good fighter, but he's a good fighter too. So I couldn't take him for granted or think like, oh, I'll just outstrike him or outgrapple him. Like in the middle of all that, he's trying to do the same thing to me. So I always had to stay sharp because it's a fight and he's been
Hmm.
training and he was ready, I was ready, and we were both good fighters. So I think it was a good fight. I did what I had to do to get the win. And he even had a good fight too. And sometimes I was in a bad position where I had to work out of, but I just trained and I was ready for that. So I was able to get the win and even when I was in a bad position, work out of it and still stay on top. So it was a good fight and it wasn't easy. It was, it was a little there were some tough spots in it for me, but that was good because that's what makes me a better fighter. Because if it was just an easy fight, I don't really get anything out of just winning an easy fight. So I got better from that fight. I feel like it made me a better fighter. And yeah, he was a good opponent and it was good to beat a good opponent.
Nice.
Okay.
Talk a little bit in this case. It went down to a decision in there. Were you nervous at all about the decision? Were you feeling okay?
Like at the end when the judges called it.
Yeah.
I was surprised when they said it was a split decision.
Hmm.
If you look at the video, you could kind of see it in my face. I was like, "What split
Yep.
decision?" And then my coaches kind of made the same face. Um, yeah, no, I knew I won it, but when it said split decision, I'm like, all right, maybe one judge scored it for the other guy. But no, even when I heard split decision, I know that it was I was pretty confident it was going in my favor for the win. So that was a little surprising to me, but it didn't make me think like, oh, did I lose? Like I knew I still won.
Hmm.
Okay.
Nice. Um, Talk a little bit in this case. Obviously, you had your family there, met her that night.
Wow.
Um, Talk a little bit about how, that felt to be able to have, them there, the reaction afterwards. The second that you saw them after basically you won and you had that belt in your hand.
It was huge to me because I got a lot of family coming out there, got a lot of friends coming out there. So during the pre-fight warm-ups, I'm not really out there. I couldn't really like talk to them, but I knew they were there. But when I first walked out to the cage, I walked in my corner and I'm looking in the crowd and I'm seeing everybody. Like I'm seeing my family. Some of them I didn't even know we're gonna be there.
Hmm.
So for the first time, I'm walking out in the cage,
Hmm.
and then I'm seeing my family that I know is gonna be there. But then I'm seeing some other family who I had no idea is coming, and then I see friends who I know was gonna be there, and then I see other friends who I didn't even know was gonna be there either. But it's huge to me. Like I'm looking in the crowd, the other guy's probably like getting ready to walk out, but I'm not really, I don't even care to even look at him. I'm just, I got so many people here that I'm seeing and they're coming for me. So I'm kind of looking in the crowd. I'm seeing like my little nephew Jaden, Grayson, I'm seeing my cousins, I'm seeing my mom, my dad, my brothers, my girlfriend, her parents are there watching me too. I'm seeing my uncles, a bunch of
Jeez.
friends
Nice.
from Parsippany came, and I had some other family and friends who brought more friends with them.
Hmm.
So I'm just kind of like soaking that all that in before I step into fight. I'm like, all right, all these people are here for me. Like I'm kind of looking at them, like showing that I see them and they see me, and it's like, all right, I'm ready to do this. Let's get this win. I'm
Hmm.
the one fighting, but in my mind, it's like, all right, guys, I got us. Let's do this.
So this was more of a confidence booster for you.
Yeah, I love it. I love having my family there and my friends there because it kind of just like it fuels my fire. It makes me feel really good. And even though it's just me fighting in there in the cage, it wouldn't be the same if my friends and family weren't there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But even though you know, whoever can, I did have a lot of people come out. Sometimes there's friends and family who can't come out, which is fine because I know like even people who can't make it are still supporting me.
Hmm.
So that's even more fuel for me. It's like, all right, I got to get these win for even more people. So yeah, I got a lot of people backing me, and I love it. That's what makes me a better fighter.
Okay. So my other question is, before the fight, probably had a couple of weeks. What was your training regimen when it came to knowing and preparing for these fights?
So during the week we would do boxing, and then we would do jujitsu, Muay Thai, train some wrestling, and then some classes were strictly MMA based. And then
Mhm.
on top of that, put in our conditioning, our strength and conditioning classes too. So yeah, our coach makes sure we're checking all boxes and mixing it up and preparing in general for any opponent, but at the same time preparing specifically for my opponent and his style.
Hmm.
And big thing for me was getting my conditioning right because I've had fights before where my conditioning wasn't there and it just wasn't good. So I told myself never again. If I'm taking a fight, I'm making sure my conditioning's good because everybody's good when they're fresh. Everyone's good
Hmm.
first round. Two good fighters, everyone's good first round. But then second and third round, you kind of see who's really good when they're tired, and that changes the whole fight. So that was a big thing for me too, on top of the whole regular training technique wise, just getting my cardio good too. And
Hmm.
that boosts my confidence knowing going into the fight, like, all right, I did my conditioning, I did my cardio, I'm right where I want to be.
Mm.
So yeah, everything like wrestling, boxing, jujitsu, Muay Thai, strength, conditioning, everything was worked on during the week and even on the weekends too. And then we had certain sparring days during the week, but always sparring on the weekend too. So yeah, I made sure I was ready. My coach made sure I was ready, and he wouldn't let me take a fight unless I was ready. So I got a lot of confidence in my coaches, especially my head coach Drew and another coach of mine, Daryl, has me prepared. Drew has me prepared. I got some jujitsu guys too that my coaches have me work with, and I got really a lot of confidence in them because they make sure if I'm taking a fight, I'm gonna be ready, and when it's ready to go, I'm prepared. So yeah, I train a lot. I train really hard for this fight.
Hmm. And it showed. Obviously, you got the win out of it.
Yeah.
Um, Talk a little bit in this case. Right now, you got the win, you got the Cage Wars contract. What is the next step for you right now, if you got one? If it's let me wrap this up. What is your next step if if you got one that you're allowed to basically talk about? If you can't, that's okay.
My next step really, I got a couple different options, like maybe like where I would pick my next fight, but I've been telling everybody like it's kind of too soon right now. I can't even really make a decision yet on
Hmm.
where I'm gonna fight next or when I'm gonna fight next, just because it's just too soon and I got some things going on with work and some things I got to talk about with my coach, how we're gonna move forward. But yeah, I want to fight soon. My coach wants me to fight soon. It's kind of just a matter of figuring out like what's gonna fit my schedule.
Hmm.
So yeah, the plan is to fight soon. I just don't know exactly. I don't know a date or an opponent or anything like that, but kind of figuring out as I go.
Nice.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
um, any other final thought? Either one of you guys in this case, just whatever you
oh,
got. Yeah, please, please,
well,
please.
okay, so it's more about the training aspect, but I'm going to basically go towards the relaxing or something that would be more ah, it's the word I'm trying to use, but you know what? Let me get to the point. So pretty much some people have their rituals when they do training or getting prepared for a fight. Would music be the type
Hmm.
of ritual that you basically get ready for? when it comes to, and what would be your playlist or your favorite
Uh,
artist to play during training or
all
maybe
right.
or
So
fight? Sorry.
during during the actual fight night itself,
Mhm.
half the time I like to just be in the locker room with my teammates, my coaches, and no music, nothing, just kind of just, and seeing our surroundings and our environment and talking to each other and being in the moment. But sometimes I do put on headphones too. And if I do put on headphones, I'm listening to music. Uh I listen to a lot of rap music like during before I fight. Um my playlist, I think I have a playlist. Let me look it up. All right, so I got some like this is what I listen to in the locker room. I got some Damian Marley, some Nipsey Hussle, The
Okay.
Game, Mob
Mhm.
Deep, DMX, Tupac, 50 Cent,
All right.
uh, Nas, Lloyd Banks, Fabulous, Dr. Dre. Who else we got? 21 Savage, Joey Badass, Eminem, Method Man, Lil Durk, uh, Metallica,
Yo,
Finally gets one, you know.
yo,
Bone
that's
Thugs and Harmony. I
yo,
got.
he's like me. He's like me. I'm bumping that every day, like doing work, walking. Yo, but sorry, I just had to say because that's awesome because it was like all the listings you put down, that's the same listings I have on my Spotify.
Yeah, it's mainly I won't really listen to that if I'm just like sitting down, just waiting in the locker room.
Mhm.
I kind of just like to, just talk to my teammates, talk to my coaches, and maybe peek my head out the locker room, look at the fight, see what's going on. But sometimes when I want to start moving around and warming up,
Mhm.
all the noise and stuff is kind of like a little distracting sometimes. Or at this past fight, there was like a quinceañera going on next door. So
Yes.
it was like really loud music,
You
which
got to
was
pick
kind
that
of
up then.
like
Okay.
not
Yeah.
the vibe I was trying to listen to when I'm warming up. The music was fine. The music was cool. If I was in a different setting, I'll be dancing to it maybe. But during when I'm warming up, then I put my headphones on and listen to that.
Okay.
And you had a long wait too. You had about 4 hours on that too.
Yeah, but I like to stay like I'm pretty relaxed in the
Hmm.
locker room. Like I don't have to be so like amped up for hours waiting. Like I kind of just stay relaxed and talk to my teammates, and when I feel like it, put on some headphones and listen to music. But some people, everybody has their own thing. Like some people are good at like maybe like they like being relaxed, or other people like being all like amped up the whole time before. I'm a little bit of both. Like sometimes I'm more relaxed, or sometimes I'm focused when it's more time to warm up and get ready.
Okay.
Nice. Nice. Uh, any other final thoughts from either one of you guys?
Easy on
Uh
you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, sure. No, go ahead.
All right. I know we're talking about the fights and stuff, but you as an individual, what do you are you a anime person? Are you a I'm sorry, I just had to break that out. Anime, comic book, the whole thing, Comic
Marvel versus DC.
Uh, yeah, no anime for me. My brothers are into anime. They watch some anime shows. For me, I like to I started my motorcycle earlier, making sure it's ready. I'm gonna go take my bike out for a
Okay.
ride later, now that I can. So that's one thing I like to do in my off time, because during training, during fight camp, I'm never even touching my bike because that just risks me potentially getting hurt.
Hmm.
But now I just had a fight last week, and
Hmm.
now I have a little time to relax a little bit. So if I want to go take my motorcycle out, that's what I'm gonna do in a couple hours. So
Nice.
that's one thing. Yeah, I like riding my motorcycle.
Okay.
Fishing too. Fishing. I You can't see. I
Okay.
got my Bass Pro Shop
Oh wow.
thing on. I love fishing. It's pretty cold right now, but in the summertime, you'll catch me down at like the Manasquan Inlet a lot. I go fishing
Okay.
there. Or I used to go in some pond or lakes around me. I'm up in Parsippany. We got a
Hmm.
few spots
Mhm.
around us. But
Very
yeah,
zen.
fishing. I love going out fishing. It's
Hmm.
fun, it's relaxing. Just go out, have a good time there. Get some nice ocean breeze, sun. Uh when it's warm, I go fishing. When it's warmer too, I'll ride my motorcycle. outside of training and work, those are
Mhm.
two things I enjoy.
Okay.
Chiefs, 49ers, don't care.
Uh, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Hmm.
I'm not a really big like football like fan, as in like I watch and pay attention to all these games,
Hmm.
but I'll watch a Super Bowl. I mean, I grew up, I used to play football when I was younger. I
Okay.
love the sport. I think it's fun playing it and watching it too, but I don't keep up with it like I do like for like UFC fights. You'll
Hmm.
catch watching those a lot, or boxing fights. I watch those a lot. Football is cool too. It's fun watching when I do watch it, but I don't really watch it too much. They're not either my teams anyway. I like the New York Giants, even though they're not really that good the past couple years.
I
But
gotta
It's hit or miss the
yeah,
last like 30 years.
yeah.
I gotta leave because I know I'm gonna get attacked.
He's a Cowboy fan.
Cowboys,
Longtime Cowboy fan.
no, that's all good. I don't know how the Cowboys did this season, but they probably did better than the Giants.
Yeah, they did, but at the end they still fail, and
But
Cowboys fans suffer. We just know going into it we're gonna suck. So
Yeah, so I don't really have a favorite for the Super Bowl. I'm just
okay,
watching out. I'll enjoy it, whoever wins.
fair enough,
Maybe
fair
I
enough.
could bet on DraftKings and see if I can make a little money.
Sure. So
facts.
right now, right, I believe the 49ers are favored by 2, although I don't know what the over-under is on how many times Taylor Swift shows up on camera. That's probably gonna be about 20. So
Probably bets on that too.
so uh Stephen, I appreciate the time again, man. You're fantastic. I'd love to have you back. We'll figure that part out. But for now, congratulations again. Keep at it. And yeah, don't be a stranger. Let us know what's going on, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
It
no
was
problem.
always a pleasure on this side. Catch you later.
See you guys.
Later.
God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.